Hello, good friends, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. You know, in today's world, this whole AI thing, artificial intelligence, it isn't just some far-off tech concept anymore, is it? It's really changing, like fundamentally reshaping how we work, how we create things, even how we find information online every single day. But let's be honest here. There are so many new AI tools popping up, like constantly. It feels overwhelming.
It really does, like trying to choose from 1,000 different apps when you just need one thing done.
Exactly. It's like that fire hose analogy, you know. You just want a sip of water, not the whole blast. So that's our mission today here on the Deep Dive. We want to cut through all that noise for you. We're aiming for clarity, trying to pull out the really important stuff, basically give you a shortcut so you're in the loop without drowning in information. And for this deep dive, we're not just listing random tools. We've picked 5 specific AI tools and models that we think are genuinely essential.
And the exciting part is, they're not just powerful, they're surprisingly easy to get started with. Many have really good free options or trials.
Right. These are the ones we feel everyone should know about. Whether you're, a student, a creative type, running a small business, or maybe you're just curious. These tools can help you build your own kind of ultimate AI Copilot setup. Okay, so let's dive in. First up, probably the biggest name, the one most people think of first, ChatGPT. And specifically, the powerhouse behind it now, the GPT-4o model.
Yeah, ChatGPT, it's almost synonymous with AI chatbot, isn't it?
Totally. It really was the trailblazer. Mm-hmm. The one that brought these large language models, LLMs, into the mainstream conversation. And it's still a massive leader in the field.
No question. And at its heart, it's about conversation, right? You talk to it, it talks back, but it can do, an astonishing amount.
It's like having this super smart assistant on call, ready for pretty much anything you throw at it.
And what really makes it stand out, especially with GPT-4o now, is just how versatile it is. It's way more than just a chatbot. Think of it as a writing and problem-solving partner.
Problem-solving, like answering questions.
Yes, but much deeper than that. We're talking complex stuff. Take coding, for instance. If you're a developer and you're stuck on some buggy code,
which happens all the time.
Right. You can literally paste your code into ChatGPT, explain the issue, and it can suggest fixes, find the errors, maybe even rewrite parts to make it more efficient. Oh. I've seen it translate code between languages like Python to JavaScript or explain really obscure technical stuff in simple terms. It makes learning to code or just getting unstuck so much faster. It sort of flattens that steep learning curve.
Okay, so coding help. That's huge. What else?
Oh, it goes way beyond code. Math, for example. It's surprisingly good. Complex calculations, solving algebra problems, even calculus. It can break it down, show you the steps.
Like a tutor?
Kind of, yeah. You give it a word problem, it doesn't just give the answer, it explains how it got there. Really useful for understanding concepts. But here's where GPT-4 really shines, and it's kind of mind-blowing. And images, it can generate visuals now.
From text. You just described something.
Exactly. You type, say, a photorealistic image of a cat wearing sunglasses riding a skateboard, and boom, it creates it. It's not just text anymore.
That's incredible.
And the insight here isn't just that it does these things, writes code, does math, makes pictures. It's how it helps you think. It's like an instant thought partner.
How so?
You can bounce ideas off it, explore different angles, draft emails or articles really quickly, brainstorm business ideas. Mm-hmm. It basically multiplies your ability to think things through and try stuff out in minutes. Your strategic bandwidth just expands.
I remember when I first tried it, my reaction was sort of, okay, it's like Google, but it talks back.
Yeah.
But then, it became obvious it was much more. What surprised you the most about it?
For me, it was the back and forth, the iterative part, especially with GPT-4o and images. You get an image and you can say, okay, good, but make the background a bit blurrier, or can you change the character's expression to look happier?
So you can refine it.
Exactly. You give it feedback and it adjusts. It learns from you. That makes it feel less like a tool and more like a collaborator. And this ability to really stick to the prompt, to understand the nuances in both text and the image itself that comes from its multimodal architecture. It gets the context much better.
Okay, so it understands better and can refine things. And you mentioned it's more than search.
Right. It doesn't just give you links like Google. It reads information from lots of places and then synthesizes it. It can give you a summary, answer complex questions by pulling info together. It acts more like an assistant finding and explaining things, not just a search bar pointing you somewhere.
And the practical uses are just everywhere. Think about prepping for a job interview.
Oh, yeah.
You could give it the job description, maybe paste in the company's About Us page and ask it, generate likely interview questions for this role at this company.
And it would.
Absolutely. It can even help you brainstorm practice answers. So you go into the interview feeling way more prepared, less likely to be caught off guard.
It's a great example.
Or content creation. Marketing copy for a new product. Social media posts. A script for a quick video. Instead of staring at a blank screen, you can get a draft in seconds. I mean, I once wasted an entire afternoon trying to write the perfect email subject line. ChatGPT probably could have given me 10 options instantly.
That blank page struggle is real.
And another thing, maybe less obvious, is data analysis. You can actually upload files, like spreadsheets.
Really? What can it do with them?
It can analyze the data, find trends, pull out key insights, summarize reports. Imagine looking at sales figures or survey results. Instead of manually crunching numbers, you ask it, what are the main takeaways here? It can save so much time and help you spot patterns you might have missed. It can even help create charts.
That's powerful. So boiling it down, why do you need ChatGPT? What's the so what? I think the biggest thing is just how easy it is to use. It makes really advanced AI accessible to pretty much anyone. You don't need a tech background.
That the barrier to entry is super low.
And you essentially have this like almost limitless engine for generating content, text, code, images now with 4.0 right at your fingertips. That changes how you approach creativity, problem solving, everything.
And the image generation with GPT 4.0, you mentioned that's a big leap.
It really is. Its ability to understand and follow complex image prompts is impressive. And that iterative feedback loop we talked about, where you refine the image through conversation, that's incredibly powerful for getting exactly the visual you want. It personalizes the creative process.
Plus, there's the whole subscription aspect, right? Free versus paid.
Yeah, the free version is great, uses GPT 3.5 mostly, with some access to 4.0, but ChatGPT Plus unlocks the full GPT 4.0, faster responses, higher limits, and advanced stuff like creating your own custom GPTs or using plugins to connect it to other web services.
And connecting it. That brings us to another tool we'll discuss later, Zapier, right?
Yeah.
You can actually automate ChatGPT.
Exactly. You can plug ChatGPT into your other workflows using tools like Zapier. So you could have it automatically draft emails, summarize meeting notes, analyze customer feedback as it comes in, basically embedding its abilities wherever you need them in your existing processes.
Making AI just a seamless part of how you work.
Precisely. When you look at the big picture, ChatGPT fundamentally boosts productivity and creative potential, especially for individuals, freelancers, small teams. It gives you capabilities that used to require huge resources or specialized skills,
freeing you up from the grunt work to focus on bigger things.
That's the core idea. Work smarter, use the AI to handle the initial drafting, the iteration, the analysis, so you can focus on strategy and the uniquely human parts of creativity.
Okay, so ChatGPT helps crystallize ideas, generate text, even code and basic images. But what if you need really high-quality, professional-looking visuals? That seems like the next step.
It is, and that's where a tool like Adobe Firefly comes in. It's specifically designed for creating stunning visuals using AI.
Adobe, so it's part of their Creative Cloud suite.
It integrates with it, yeah, which is a huge plus. But it's also a standalone tool. If you've ever needed a specific image for, I don't know, a presentation, a website, social media, and couldn't find the right stock photo or didn't have the design skills, Firefly aims to solve that.
So how does it work? Is it like ChatGPT's image generation?
Similar core idea. Text to image. You describe the image you want, and Firefly creates it. A serene mountain landscape at sunrise with a lone hiker, that kind of thing.
Okay.
But it offers more specialized features too, like creating unique text effects. Imagine text that looks like it's made of fire or ice or flowers matching a theme. Great for headlines or logos.
Oh, cool.
And it can also recolor vector art very quickly. If you have a logo or illustration and need to see it in different color schemes, Firefly can generate variations instantly. Saves a ton of time for designers testing palettes. And critically, Adobe trained Firefly on Adobe stock images and openly licensed content, specifically addressing copyright concerns, which is a big deal for commercial use.
That copyright aspect is important.
Yeah.
But you said text to image is just the core. What else makes it stand out? You mentioned something about magic.
Yeah, the magic part for me is generative fill and generative expand. This is where it gets really powerful for working with existing images.
Okay, explain those. Generative expand.
Let's say you have a photo, but it's cropped too tightly. Maybe you need more background space to add text for an ad. With generative expand, you just drag the borders of the image outward, making the canvas bigger.
And then?
Firefly intelligently fills in the new space. It looks at the existing image, the patterns, the lighting, the textures, and extends the scene naturally into the new area. It's uncanny how well it blends.
Wow, okay. And generative fill.
Similar concept, but inside the image. You can select an area, say an empty spot on a table, and type a prompt like add a steaming cup of coffee. Firefly generates the coffee cup, matching the lighting and perspective of the scene.
So you can add things seamlessly.
Or remove things. Select an unwanted object, click generate, and it's gone, filled in with what realistically should be behind it. Or change things, select someone's shirt, and type change shirt to blue.
That sounds incredibly useful. Like Photoshop, but way faster and maybe easier. I remember trying to remove something from a photo once. It took forever and looked terrible.
Exactly. It streamlines those tedious pixel-pushing tasks. You focus more on the creative idea, less on the manual labor. And yeah, Firefly uses a credit system. You get a decent amount free each month, and then paid plans offer more credits for heavier use.
So why Firefly specifically? There are other AI image tools out there.
Good question. I think its versatility makes it great for experimenting, but the killer feature is its integration with Adobe tools, especially Photoshop.
So if you're already using Photoshop.
Firefly features are built right in. You can use generative fill and expand directly on layers within your Photoshop project. It makes the workflow incredibly smooth for professionals, designers, marketers, photographers who live in that ecosystem. It bridges AI generation and pro-level editing seamlessly.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not just a standalone toy. It fits into existing professional workflows.
Right. And beyond the pros, like you said earlier, it really democratizes creating high-quality visuals. You don't need to be a Photoshop expert anymore to produce something that looks amazing. If you have an idea, Firefly helps you bring it to life visually. The key shift is from finding visuals to creating them exactly as needed, with the added trust layer of Adobe's content credentials indicating AI origin.
Okay, powerful visuals covered. Now, what about audio? We've got text, we've got images, bringing scripts to life with voice.
For that, ElevenLabs is, well, pretty much the undisputed leader right now. It's a game changer for AI voice generation.
Why is it considered the leader? What makes it special?
Two main things. The sheer quality and realism of the voices and the level of control you have. First, the library. They have over 300 voices.
Oh, 300.
Yeah, and they cover a huge range, different accents, ages, styles. You need a voice for a podcast intro. They have conversational ones, need something for an audiobook, narration styles, corporate video, authoritative tones, even voices designed specifically for ads.
Lots of options. But you said control.
This is key. You're not just picking a voice and feeding it text. You can fine-tune how it speaks. Adjust the tone, make it more excited, sadder, more serious. Change the style. Even control the emotional range.
How granular does that get?
Pretty granular. You can even control emphasis within sentences. You know how human speech has natural rhythm and stress on certain words?
That's not flat.
Exactly. ElevenLabs lets you guide that emphasis so the output sounds much more natural and engaging, not robotic. It captures those subtle nuances. That's how it avoids that classic stilted text-to-speech sound.
Okay, that sounds impressive. What about things like cloning a voice?
It does that too. Voice cloning is one of its advanced features. You provide a short sample of someone's voice with their permission, obviously, and it can generate audio in that specific voice.
Whoa, the implications there are significant.
They are. Think personalized audio messages, dubbing films while keeping the original actor's voice tone, things like that. It's powerful stuff.
So why is this a must-have? What problem does it solve?
It solves the problem of needing high-quality audio without the traditional hassle and expense. Think about it. No need for a good microphone, a quiet room, recording multiple takes, editing out mistakes.
Yeah, recording audio well is harder than it looks. Background noise is the enemy.
Totally. ElevenLabs lets you generate professional-sounding audio directly from a script. It democratizes audio production in a big way.
Makes sense. What kind of content is it best suited for?
All sorts, really. Narrations are a big one. Audiobooks, e-learning modules, video voiceovers, presentations, character voices for games or animation. You can create consistent voices without hiring actors for every line.
And for businesses.
Definitely. Corporate training videos, phone system voice prompts, IVR, marketing materials, add voiceovers. It provides a consistent, high-quality voice without the ongoing cost of voice talent, especially for quick updates or variations. It literally turns your text script into a ready-to-use audio file. And like the others, it has a free tier to get started, then paid plans for more usage.
So it essentially lets anyone become an audio producer, scaling up content, or just adding that professional polish without breaking the bank.
Precisely. It radically cuts the friction between having a script and having usable high-quality audio. That speed and ease allows for iteration and personalization in audio that just wasn't feasible before for most people.
Okay, so we got text, images, voice. The next logical step seems to be putting it all together into motion. Video. AI video generation feels like the really wild frontier right now.
It absolutely does. And if you want to dip your toes into that world, Runway is a fantastic platform to explore. Honestly, seeing what it can do now, it feels like science fiction made real.
How does it work? Is it text to video?
That's the core of it, yeah. Similar to the image generators, you provide a text prompt describing the scene or action you want. Often, you'll also provide a starting image to give it context.
So prompt plus an image equals a video clip.
In essence, yes. You could describe a drone shot flying over a medieval castle, maybe provide a still photo of a castle, and Runway generates a short video clip realizing that motion and scene. It turns your text description into actual moving pictures. They have different models like Gen 1 and Gen 2, offering different levels of quality and control.
But is it just generating random clips based on prompts, or do you have control?
You have a surprising amount of control. That's what makes it more than just a novelty. You can specify camera movements, tell it to pan left, zoom in slowly, do a dolly shot tracking a subject.
Really? You can direct the virtual camera?
Yep. And you can apply visual styles. Want it to look like an old 8mm film, or an anime, or have a specific mood, like cinematic lighting. You can guide the aesthetic.
Okay, that's getting interesting. What about the action in the video?
You can influence that too. You can guide subject motion to some extent, make the character walk towards the camera, have the clouds move quickly. It gives you creative direction over the scene's elements, not just the overall look. You're not just generating, you're directing the AI.
That sounds much more powerful than just text to video.
Yeah.
But is that all Runway does? Just generate clips?
No, it's actually become more of a suite of AI video tools, which is really useful. It has other features built in that use AI to help with post-production tasks.
Like what?
Background removal, for one. Really good, clean removal of backgrounds from video clips. Great for compositing or creating that green screen effect without needing an actual green screen.
That's always tricky in video editing.
Definitely. It also has a feature for creating super slow motion from regular footage. You know, for those dramatic, high-impact shots. Usually need special cameras, but Runway can simulate it using AI.
Nice. Anything else? Automatic subtitle generation. If you've ever manually typed out and timed subtitles.
Tell me about it. Hours of pain. Runway can listen to the audio in your video and generate the subtitles automatically. Huge time saver. So it's like this mini AI-powered post-production toolkit alongside the generation features. And again, free trial to test it out, then paid plans for more features and higher quality output.
So Runway is kind of a playground for AI video.
Exactly. It's great for beginners to just experiment with prompts and see what happens, but it also has enough depth and control with those extra tools to be genuinely useful for creators looking to turn imaginative ideas into actual video content quickly.
It feels like it lowers the barrier for video creation significantly.
It does. Making dynamic visual stories is suddenly much more accessible. You don't necessarily need a camera crew, complex editing software, or animation skills to create something compelling. Aspiring filmmakers, marketers, anyone needing video content can benefit. There's still a learning curve to get really polished results, but getting started is surprisingly straightforward.
Okay, so we have these amazing individual tools. ChatGPT for ideas and text, Firefly for images, ElevenLabs for voice, Runway for video. But they're still separate tools. How do you connect them? How do you make them work together efficiently?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's precisely where our final tool, Zapier, comes into play. Think of it as the digital glue or the conductor for your orchestra of AI tools.
Zapier. I've heard of it mainly for automating tasks between regular apps like email and spreadsheets. It's considered an AI tool now.
Well, it's been recognized as a top free AI tool specifically for automation. And automation is key to making all these other AI tools truly productive within your workflow.
Okay, so how does Zapier work fundamentally?
The core idea is building automated workflows, which they call Zaps. It lets you connect different web applications, and they support over 7,000 of them.
7,000.
Yeah, it's vast. Think Gmail, Slack, Google Sheets, Salesforce, Trello, Twitter, Facebook, and importantly, many of the AI tools we've talked about, like ChatGPT.
And you build workflows between them. How do you need to code?
That's the beauty of it. No coding required. It's a visual interface. You basically say, when this happens in app A, the trigger, then automatically do that in app B, the action.
Give me an example.
Okay, simple one. When I get a new email in Gmail with invoice in the subject, trigger, automatically save the attachment to a specific folder in my Google Drive action. Or when someone fills out a form on my website, trigger, add their email to my MailChimp list action, and send me a notification in Slack, another action.
Okay, I see. Trigger and action connects different apps.
And the crucial insight here is that it shifts your mindset. You stop thinking about manually doing repetitive tasks and start designing efficient processes. You're basically programming your workflow without writing code, which is a really valuable skill now.
And you mentioned AI is involved now. How?
They have a feature called Copilot. It's an AI assistant within Zapier. Instead of manually building the Zap step by step, you can just describe what you want to automate in plain English. Yeah. You could type, when a customer sends a support request via email, create a task in Jira and summarize the email using ChatGPT. And the Copilot helps you build that multi-step Zap. It makes automation even more accessible.
That's pretty amazing. Does Zapier do anything beyond these trigger actions apps?
It does now, yeah. They've expanded quite a bit. They have Zapier Tables, which is like a database or a smart spreadsheet you can use within your automations. Zapier Interfaces lets you build simple web forms or dashboards to interact with your workflows. They have chatbots you can build, and specific AI by Zapier actions you can add into Zaps, things like summarizing text, classifying data, translating, even AI agents that can perform more complex sequences of tasks.
So it's becoming a whole platform for automating and orchestrating work.
Exactly. It tackles that core problem.
Yeah.
All the time we waste on repetitive manual tasks that connect different systems. Why is it essential? Because it gives you back your time. It's incredible how much has changed. Automating like this used to require developers.
Can you give another concrete example, maybe involving one of the AI tools?
Sure. Let's connect a few things. Imagine a new lead comes in through a Facebook lead ad. Trigger. A Zap could automatically send that lead's information to ChatGPT action with a prompt like, draft a personalized welcome email based on this lead's industry.
Okay.
Then, the Zap takes ChatGPT's drafted email output and creates a draft in your Gmail action ready for you to review and send. Simultaneously, it could add the lead to your CRM action and maybe even use ElevenLabs action to generate a quick audio summary of the lead for your sales team, posting it in Slack.
Whoa. Okay, that's connecting multiple apps and AI tools into one automated flow.
Exactly. Or updating spreadsheets automatically from forms, as you mentioned earlier. That data comes in, populates the sheet, maybe another Zap triggers an analysis or sends a report. The possibilities are huge. These automations seem small, but they save enormous amounts of time and reduce errors cumulatively. And Zapier has a free plan for basic Zaps, then scales up with paid plans for more complex needs.
So fundamentally, Zapier lets you tie everything together. Make your apps and AI tools talk to each other automatically.
Precisely. It streamlines your work life significantly. Fewer manual steps, less room for error, tasks get done consistently. It really empowers you to work smarter, not harder, by automating the routine stuff.
So a challenge for the listener.
Yeah. Think about your day. Is there one repetitive thing you do? Copying data between apps, sending the same kind of email over and over? Chances are Zapier could automate it. Figure out that one thing. You'll be amazed how much time you get back.
That's a great way to think about it. Find one bottleneck and automate it. And that really brings us full circle on these 5 tools. We've covered ChatGPT, Adobe Firefly, ElevenLabs, Runway, and now Zapier. These are just 5 examples, of course. The AI world is massive. But we genuinely feel these 5 offer a really strong, accessible foundation for almost anyone looking to leverage AI.
Absolutely. They cover key areas: ideation, text, visuals, voice, video, and the automation to link it all together.
They showcase how powerful AI has become, but also, crucially, how accessible it is now. Many of these have free versions or trials, so you can start experimenting without a big commitment.
It really empowers you to enhance your work, boost your creativity, make your daily routines more efficient.
So as we wrap up, maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Just this. We've thrown a lot at you today. Don't feel like you need to master all 5 tools overnight. Pick one. Which one sparked your interest the most? Which one addresses a need you have right now?
Good point. Just start somewhere.
Exactly. Maybe it's using ChatGPT to brainstorm, or trying Firefly for an image, or automating one task with Zapier. Take that first step. Explore what AI can do for you. It might just unlock a whole new way of working and creating. What's the smallest, easiest step you can take today?
Great advice. Take that first step. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.